So just guys, don't get discouraged about the number of views or the number of followers. Just focus on creating content and focus on making the content better every single day. And the leads will come in and the followers will eventually come. But don't focus on that. Focus on what you're doing right now. That's going to make it better.
Hey everyone, are you ready to be fired up? Because I sure am. We have a rock star in real estate here. He's an amazing marketer, the president of EXP Canada, and also a massive producer all at the same time. So if you're ready to find out what's working right now in real estate, even in another country, then you want to stay tuned. I'm going to be interviewing Tsai today. Let me tell you a little bit of a bio about him, and then we'll get into it. Hi, John. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I've been stalking you, so I'm glad that you're actually on the podcast.
You stalking me? I'm
Yes.
starstruck right now. So it goes both ways. Thank you for so much for having me on. Been a big fan of yours for many, many years, and found out that you joined our company. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I made the right move. So here
You're
we
so
are.
cute.
Thank you.
So I was so impressed because you are young. I mean, I asked you if anything was off limits, but you're very young and you're doing so well. So how old are you?
I'm 45 actually.
Are you 45? I swear it must be because you're Asian. Your skin just looks so good and you look so young. I thought you were like 35.
Oh, thank you.
So I know you've already done over $280 million worth of real estate this year alone, and we are still in August. Tell me, how have you done that? What do you attribute the success to?
That was actually last year, all of last year. This year so far, we've done 160.
106, well, still amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. And I believe that it's a combination of a few things, experience, stepping into potholes for many years and then, tweaking as we go. And it's never perfect. I'm always looking for progress, not perfection.
Hmm.
And I'm, flying the plane as I'm building it, meaning building a team. And we just every single day I'm looking to disrupt myself, looking to innovate, looking to get better. And here we are. It's a progression. It's not where we want to be because our goals are 600 million and like 400 transactions, but we're not there. And we've achieved a lot in the past few years, and I'm super grateful for it. And we just got to keep better, keep getting better. And I'm keeping my head down. I'm not looking at obsessing over numbers or ranking. I'm looking at how we can properly serve our clients, how we can become better leaders for our agents. That's all I'm looking at on a daily basis. And that's where we are at right now.
Well, you are doing an amazing job. I mean,
Thank you.
it's you. I love your content. Something I've just pushed so much for so long, and even now more than ever, is just positioning in the market, branding, how important it is. And I believe that there is going to be a massive surge in real estate. There's been such a pent up demand for selling and buying. People have been sitting on the fence. I mean, transactions are still happening, but not like they were. But people want to sell, they want to buy, and so I think right now, people as an agent or any business owner, right? They need to be thinking about do people know their name? When people think about real estate, ask yourself this question, does your name come to mind? And I will tell you that in
Mm,
your area, I would say that they do because you produce such fun content. Like your
thank
content's
you.
fun, it's funny, you're very innovative and it's great to watch. So talk to me a little bit about that. What is your strategy and how a lot of people are really nervous about creating content. They kind of get in their head. How have you overcome that?
Yeah, so I started the whole journey in 2013 when I first signed up to Instagram, and it was like just listed, just sold, and I wasn't getting any traction with that. And I was like, well, what is this all about? This social media thing, how does it even work? Right? And then I started to post videos, and then it became reels. And then that's when I went big around that COVID time. We were creating a lot of content anyways because you had nothing else to do at home.
Yeah.
So, and then we came across your videos. We're like, okay, like these videos actually do attract business. So why don't we try to figure this out? And very shy in front of the camera. All I did was like market updates. But as you put in the reps,
Mhm.
you're going to start to get more comfortable with yourself. And no matter how you look, it's okay because if I think less about myself, think more about contributing to the audience, Doesn't matter how I look, right? And so I know that each and every day I need to provide good content.
Hmm.
So I started to, just speak and then train, and then I would document. So that's easy.
Yes.
But then we did really well with that for a couple of years, and it started to really drop off. So then we had to pivot. So how do we pivot is we start to do more viral content. So the viral content draws the eyes in, and then we capture them and make loyal fans out of them when they're, first of all, real estate viral content, and second of all, I have advice for realtors. They're like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about, and he's funny, or try to be funny, whatever.
You're
So
funny.
thank you. And that's where we're at today. But it's a progression, once again, of being shy, and then focus on the wrong things in the beginning, and then I'm like, okay, take my ego out of the way. Just create content, just go. And then at one point, Krista, I wanted to do 2 reels a day, 5 days a week, which I did. And that's
Good.
when the Instagram algorithm boosted as well. So we went from 26,000 to 75,000, and then all the way now to 223,000. But again, it's a progression, and I don't, again, I don't want to obsess about the number of followers, but I
I
want
think,
to.
and I think a lot of people do that, right?
Yeah.
And I think, and it, honestly, I know how hard it is, to especially on Instagram. Instagram is one of the harder platforms to have a lot of followers, and so I get it. So I know how hard that you've worked for that, and I think that a lot of times, um, agents think that they're vanity metrics, and they can be, but what you have to understand as far as local based content, it's that you don't need to have even 30,000 followers. You can have several hundred or several thousand loyal followers because you're going after a global network. Obviously, you're the president of EXP Canada. You're building a team across the nation, as am I. And so we're going more of a broader reach. And that's the reason why our marketing efforts, show that. But agents don't need that. They just need to have some loyal fans, great local content, letting the audience get to know who they are, their morals, their values, things they're interested in, on top of being a real estate agent and on top of talking about what's happening in their community. But it's so much easier to do. So don't like I'm so proud of you for that. Like I know how hard that is because I mean I just hit 90,000. I'm like, yeah, and I've been working on it for 7 years. And so to see you, I literally was stalking you even more today, looking at your numbers, going, wow, this is so impressive. But don't look at John and think you need that. You don't. So talk a little bit about that because I think agents think that, John.
Yeah, it really depends on your goals. I mean,
Hmm.
if you're trying to sell this many homes and you're doing it off of Instagram, you don't need 200 and something 100,000 followers. It doesn't matter. In fact, you just need very valuable content, right?
Yes.
So then, I'll give you an example. I just had stem cells done on my arm because I injured myself. And where did I find the stem cell doctor, Krista? YouTube.
Yeah,
So
for
guess
sure.
get guess what? Like, I found her on YouTube and I started consuming her content. She knows what she's talking about. She's
Mhm.
very personable. And then I was like, okay, wow. And I interviewed 2 other stem cell companies already. And then I go to her Instagram. Here's where the kicker is. I go to her Instagram. Her Instagram page is so. There's not that much content, but YouTube, she's going beast mode. And I DM'd her on IG. Guess what? She replied, and it's her.
Yeah.
I ended up spending $19,000 on my arm because of YouTube content, and she doesn't have that many YouTube followers either.
Uh-huh.
So
But
it's not
but she's attracting the right followers.
exactly.
And so you have to think about what you just said, and this is exactly what people do, right? So you're giving an example of stem cell. My husband, about a year and a half ago, he was diagnosed with prediabetes, and I was like, "How are you pre-diabetic? You're thin, And then I come to find out, well, he's eating, Taco Bell for lunch and McDonald's for breakfast, and so of course we changed all that. But what did I do? I immediately went straight online. I went to YouTube. And then YouTube would direct me to, I'd click on that, and then I go to Instagram, and then I would binge watch every single person that was giving high valuable information, and then I picked the best one. It wasn't the most popular one. It wasn't the one that had the most followers. It was the one that gave me the most valuable information. That is the process that every single consumer goes through. They go online. So you have to ask yourself this question: are you showing up where people are looking? Are you answering their problems, adding value? And you just said it. I mean, that's exactly what the consumer is doing. And it's so true when they're going to buy a house. And they do it well before they're ready. Because someone doesn't just wake up one day and say, I want to buy a house today. I want to sell a house. They're binging, they're consuming.
They are consuming, and whether or not they like it, share it, they are watching.
Yes.
Right. So just guys, don't get discouraged about the number of views or the number of followers. Just focus on creating content and focus on making the content better every single day. And the leads will come in and the followers will eventually come. But don't focus on that. Focus on what you're doing right now. That's going to make it better.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have you heard somebody say that's never commented, never liked, never shared, and they said, oh my gosh, I've been watching you for years? Like, don't you hear it all the time?
I hear it all the time and I go, whoa, really? You've
Yeah.
been watching me? I've never seen your comment ever.
Yeah, yeah, it's so true. People are like silently watching in the background, you know. So it's so important to do. I think it's the number one. I mean, I always use this example, and it's a cheesy one, but it's so true. I mean, we all know big brands like Google, right? And think about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, no one even really knew who Homes.com was. Well, Homes.com 2 years ago was on every fourth commercial during the Super Bowl, and now my dad just said to me about a couple weeks ago, he goes, where did Homes.com, where all of a sudden is Homes.com everywhere? I go, Dad, they marketed during the Super Bowl 2 years ago, like every third commercial, and now everyone knows who Homes.com is. That, you know, it's $7 million for a 30-second commercial to advertise during the Super Bowl. So imagine the amount of the importance of it. Why would Google do it? Everyone in the world knows who Google is. They do it because they understand the importance of positioning and brand awareness. And so
Mm.
agents have to understand the importance of it, right? And especially right now. So there's no better time to start than right now, number one. And I think another thing, talk about consistency, because what I find is there's a lot of people, agents especially, they have trouble with consistency. So consistency in creating video content. And when you talk about, you know, you said, well, I'm creating viral content. Can you give us some ideas of the type of content that you're creating that like the average real estate agent or lender, regardless of, any type of local professional can create?
I think the viral content should be still consistent with your brand or
Mhm.
what you do in your industry. So I find sometimes I just like to have fun with my family and my wife. Wife content is really fun. People like to watch it,
Yeah.
but that's not necessarily my audience. But if I do viral content that's funny in real estate, that attracts the right type of audience, right? And then I do coaching content, which I do anyway. I've been a coach
Mhm.
for a long time as well. So that attracts a different type of agents watching me. Now, the key is consistency, like you said, whether it's good or bad, put it out there.
Yeah.
And at one point, I was doing 2 reels a day, 5 days a week for a good year.
Hmm.
And I'm not attached to the outcome. But sure enough, leads start coming in, agent attraction leads or, buyer and seller leads. They came in because of the content that I was doing. Come list me calls or come join me at EXP calls came from those. But I just had to make sure that my reels or viral content is consistent with my brand, who I am, and within the viral still becoming as authentic as possible, being me instead of trying to be somebody else, which I did
Yes,
earlier on in my content. So authenticity, consistency, and consistent with your brand as well. That's what I
absolutely.
think works.
And I think too, like a lot of people will look at, you know, I'm crazy and hyper and talk really fast, and the people that are attracted to me will think that they need to be like that. And it's so not true. I mean, even if you look at the two of us, we're very different, right? We're different ages, we're different countries, all that. And yet I found you and was attracted to you. You found me and were attracted to me. And we're very different, and we have different audiences that we're going to be attracted to, and people are different. So I think a lot of people will watch different influencers, so to speak, and think, oh, I have to be that way, which is it's so not, it's just not the case. You have to be yourself, because you will attract the right audience, and you're going to repel the ones that wouldn't want to work with you anyways, which is good, because you wouldn't want them to.
Exactly. And yeah, I would say that just being yourself is the best thing you can do. You're uniquely you, and some people won't like it and some people will. And the people that like your stuff are the people that you want to pour into anyways,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's no brainer.
So your number one lead generating strategy is?
For real estate leads, believe it or not, Krista is still my database. I've built up a database of over 2,000 past clients in my career.
Awesome.
So most of our leads will still come from there. But because I built a team of 65 agents right now, we're obviously helping them with online lead generation. So
Mhm.
we go Ylopo, and now we've created a program where we're doing, learning from you, creating
Oh,
and branding ourselves locally and putting out ads,
good.
right? The right ads and the right copy and the right call to action are going to get you very highly qualified leads. So we're starting to do that on top of course, we still need to take care of our past clients. You still need to go out there and do open houses. Don't get me wrong, but if you're only doing that, you're kind of missing the boat with what we're doing, which is social media AI to beast mode what you do right now.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good. 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 I love it. So you would then, so your number one database, your number one lead generating strategy is still your database.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you say, like, what I have found is that referrals come in? I always talk about the sales cycle: marketing, lead generation, lead nurture, conversion, fulfillment, delivery, and then
Mm.
refer, retain, resell. And you will get more referrals, retain more clients, get them to resell and relist with you because of the content that you're doing. And then it's like it enhances it so much.
100%. And a lot of my past clients who consume my content, then they reach out to me naturally. So the content is not only for new captures, it's also to nurture the people
Mm,
that you already have in your database. So
100%.
you can't lose creating content.
Yes, it does so much for you. And I mean, how many times have somebody I know when I was an agent, I was a great agent. I love to do a great job and my clients loved me. But there were times that I'd be at Costco and one of my favorite past clients would be like, "Krista, we bought a house." And I'd be like, "What? You didn't use me?" And I realized it was because they had forgotten about me, right? They
Ooh.
forgot about me. They were at an open house or they went somewhere and the right person was there at the right time. And had I been marketing, via the social media, 15 years ago, that would not have happened. So
Mm-hmm.
I made when that's happened to me a couple of times, many, many years ago. And I thought, I'm never going to let that happen again. I have to make sure that they
Mm.
can never forget about me, right?
100%.
And social media absolutely does that. Okay, so your database. So talk to me a little bit about what are you doing with your data? What if there's a newer agent, um, and they don't have a database yet? And what would you tell them, as far as how they could somehow use similar type of tactics with maybe people that they know? What would your advice be to a newer agent?
Well, a newer agent right now with no database coming into the market right now, if you're willing to spend a little bit of money, go out there. Right now, we have this new program that we're launching where the ad copy is get your home sold guaranteed in 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
And you put $25 a day on it, and you're gonna get people to put up their hands. And all I have to do on the back end as a coach, I will coach you on what to say to convert that into an appointment. But even then, in between, there's AI doing the work, right?
Yes.
So you do have to invest some money to get these highly qualified leads into your funnel. But if you don't know how to convert, don't know what to say, you still won't convert, right? So that's what I would recommend. You do that as a new agent, and of course, still doing the old school stuff. You still
Yes.
got to talk to people. You still got to do your open houses, and you still got to do your farming around the area while you do the online content creation and ads. Then you're gonna dominate.
Oh, it's so I've seen so many newer agents take over just by, running ads. And I would say, okay, so think about how much money you're spending, um, on a cup of coffee or on a glass of wine, or on how many times do you pull out your checkbook throughout your wallet throughout the week and you buy things that you could be running ads instead. Right? I mean, $5 a day, $10 a day. I know everyone spends $5 or $10 a day, but you could use that money to get like massive brand exposure, hundreds of hours of watch time. I love the guarantee programs. I actually just taught seller and buyer guarantee programs to my students. It was like a
Nice.
whole 6 week program. And it's so funny because so many people could not wrap their head around it. And I was like, guys, first of all, you're the one that's making the guarantee. And number two, they have to follow under certain, terms and conditions, and it's to
Stipulation.
get your
Yeah.
phone to ring. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
whatever your terms are, you have to be able to fulfill on that,
Yeah.
right? But the idea is get your phone to ring, and then implement the premier listing system, and they're not even going to ask about the guarantee. But I mean, it literally took me about 4 to 5 weeks of going over it on a call, like giving, like, just really, before well, what if this? I'm like, you guys are missing the point. It's like sometimes it's just the obvious things are hard for people to really understand.
100%. And it's no surprise how you got the 69 million in 7 years. By the way, huge congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
That's something we're striving for. So you're already there. Kudos to you.
Yeah. Well, it was from doing things that, the things that I think that, people are so afraid of things. And I'm sure you're seeing this as a coach. The more that you coach people, you realize that they're so worried about the what if it doesn't, or they
Mm,
talk themselves right out of things.
mm.
And I think I'm kind of similar to you. I know that you take coaching seriously and you have mentors. And if I have a mentor that says to do something, I trust the process and I listen. And it doesn't always work out, but kind of like what you say, I learn along the way. I'm not just getting ready, I'm not just aiming, but I'm firing. I'm constantly
Firing.
firing because I can't
Yes.
learn unless I do, right?
Oh, so good. Thank you. Thank you for that.
I
Mm.
think everyone needs to hear it because people just get in their head so much. I think they just get in their head so much. And I see that a lot with social media content, with video, with just doing things differently. And I think it's one of the easiest professions to do really, really well in because most everyone is doing the same thing. So everyone says how hard real estate is because it's so overcrowded and there's so much competition. And it is, but because it's so crowded and there's so many people that are doing the exact same cookie cutter thing, it's very easy for someone to stand out and make an impact.
I agree with that. And if you're willing to do what other people aren't willing to do, I mean, you're going to, again, dominate, right?
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
440,000 agents left the business last year, and only 21% sold a home last year in the US. Your competition aren't working. So all you got to
Yeah.
do is do something different and be consistent with that. Once again, it's all yours for the
Yeah.
taking.
Absolutely. So okay, so let's talk a little bit about EXP because as you know, we're both with EXP.
Yes.
And you're how long have you been with EXP now?
6.5 years, almost 7.
Has it been that long?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so what I didn't know that. So that is one thing that I did not do my research on well. I had thought that you just came into EXP when you became president, and so I'm totally off on that. So how big is your organization with EXP?
Right now at 1350. So I started
Wow.
January 1st, 2019. And, it was a pretty quick trajectory. Obviously, you go through your ups and downs, but here we are at 1350. I've actually stepped down as president of EXP Realty
You did.
Canada, March 2024. I did a 1 year, serving the company for 1 year, but I've since stepped down back into production, back into growing the organization. I still fly around 1 to 2 times a month speaking for different
Because I
cities.
see you everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so I do that. I try to pour into everybody. I try to still help, even though I don't have the title. Corporate doesn't pay for my accommodations or flights anymore. But when somebody asks me to speak, I want to go out there and I want to pour into them,
Yes, that's
right?
awesome. So you're flying all over the place. You're doing it at your own goodwill. 1350, that's amazing. I know how
Thank
hard
you.
it is to do that, and you're still a lot of people in EXP are kind of like holding steady, or they're people are moving around. I think it's a great time right now to grow your organization because people are looking for solutions. They're looking for help.
100%. And there's a lot of movement around the industry, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you're not supporting the agents that you have, they're probably going to go somewhere else. And the agents that you're talking to before, they might be feeling some pain in today's market. So go out there and it's like this, right? And I see agent attraction very clearly now. Talk to people, care about them, present the opportunity, and once they feel enough pain, they're gonna be like, you know what, John, I'm ready.
Yes.
And
True.
but I don't get to have that opportunity unless I love on them and care about them. It's all about caring for other people. If you help enough people get what they want, you eventually get what you want. But a lot of times we just want to recruit, come and join, come and join. That's the wrong energy, right?
It
So
is.
again, it's about creating content, Krista. creating
Yeah.
content that's valuable that agents watch. And if they like my personality and see what I have to offer is valuable to them, then naturally they'll want to join. I don't want to chase anymore. I don't know about you. Like, you don't
No.
chase, attract.
Attract, yeah,
Right.
attraction-based marketing. That's like marketing. Actually, the true definition of marketing is attraction, right? Like you're
Right.
attracting. And you do you guys know something that if you decided like I would love to work with Krista and John, you can actually do that too. We John and I can both work with you together.
Yes. I
You
have
can do
so many people, Krista, I think that I've been talking to that if you came into the conversation would be like, this is a no-brainer for me, John. I can already
well,
think of 5, 6 people that are like, okay,
let's
this
do
is good.
it. Let's do
Let's do
it.
it.
Let's
Let's do
do
it.
it. I love that. Yeah, I actually love the new collaboration with EXP. So just if those of you that are listening don't understand, so John and I are both at the EXP. We are building agents across the country. I've got actually a few agents in Canada. He's got agents in the U.S. and in Canada, probably other countries as well. But we actually support agents from all over as a part of our organization. And now EXP has something where it's called collaboration, where you can actually have two people that you join with. And the nice thing about it, I don't know about you, but when people join under me, they get like my $10,000 coaching program for free. We have like group calls and we just offer them so much support, teach them how to run Facebook ads, teach them how to do video. There's so much hand holding that we offer when they join with us. And I'm sure that you've got something similar as well when people join with you at the XP. Can you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I have a program called List More, Close More, which is kind of similar to yours. We're catching up to what you do. We do ads. We have a CRM as well, and we help them run ads as well, which I talked about. Get your home sold guaranteed in 7 days, and then on the back end is where I coach. I'm of the Mike Ferry mold. I don't know. You probably know Mike Ferry, Tom
Yeah,
Ferry.
I know them all.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been
Yeah.
agent.
So
I've been in real estate for 24 years, though.
there you go. Yeah. So you know the grind. I've been through the
Yes,
grind. So I do still teach that portion of the game, which is mindset, skills, activities, and actions while
awesome.
we help you run the ad. So when they join our organization, they're going to get a portion of that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you and I collaborate, it's going to be an unstoppable program.
Oh, yes,
Can't
absolutely.
wait.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Good. All right. So, anything that, how can we end? So, tell me a little bit about how do you balance family life with real estate? I mean, real estate, especially the amount of transactions that you're doing and how much content that you're creating. I mean, it's a difficult balance. When I look back, as an agent, I didn't even realize it, honestly, John, how much I was working until,
Yeah.
and the year I left real estate to be a coach, I had sold 154 homes myself that year as a solo agent.
Oh.
And
Yep.
I didn't work weekends and I didn't work nights.
Oh.
My last appointment would be around 4 o'clock because my goal was to be at home by 5:30. But what I didn't realize is how much I was on the phone. I was the mom that was on vacation going down the zip line, like those funny memes that you see with the realtor.
Yeah.
That was me. And I didn't realize how much I was working just being on the phone and how do you balance it?
Right now, I don't believe in balance. I believe it's all about priorities.
Mhm.
So it's not time management. I believe that's a myth. I believe that it's all about what's important to you right now. So what's important to me right now, number one is my health. I know
Mhm.
I got to work out. I know I got to meditate. I know I got to stretch every single day. I know I got to take my supplements. Take care of number one. Number two, what are my biggest priorities? Obviously, my wife and my 2 kids.
Mhm.
If I'm not on the phone, not working out, I'm with them 100%.
It's so
So
good.
that's my priority. And the third is if you take care of number one and two, business will just come.
Yes.
Right. And
Yes.
now the fourth thing I want to share is that I don't chase relationships that aren't giving me energy anymore. I don't chase people or clients or agents that are lukewarm to me
Hmm.
because that I'm in fact spending and wasting that energy where I could be spending with my family or with people who give me energy. So it's all about energy management and priority management for me. So I believe if you want to call it balance, is that I have my priorities straight, my health, my family, and then business.
That's awesome. I always say balance is BS. You like you said, you focus on what is important, right? There's sometimes where I have to prioritize my business, sometimes I have to prioritize my marriage. It just depends on where I'm at right now. And sometimes you do have to prioritize business over anything else because if you don't, you're not going to have a family. Right? You're gonna end up working at McDonald's. That won't be very good. This has been This has been great, John. So,
Thank you.
I want to just, first of all, thank you for coming on. And I'm just so proud of your accomplishments. I see how hard you work. I see
Thank
your
you.
dedication to the industry, to EXP, to the people that you serve. You're a great role model to look up to. So, how can people obviously learn more about you and what you do?
Yes, on IG, it's Tsai Real Estate. You can DM me. I actually answer all my emails and DMs. And we have a program called listmoreclosemore.com. And, come and see what we do. I'd be happy to share with you, how you can scale your business. And, looking forward to collaborate more with Krista. And, yeah, just find me anywhere.
And that's John Tsai. So John
TSA.
Tsai. Once you see him, you'll know he's so great on socials. And I don't know, everyone. I hope you were just as fired up as I am. This was a great chat, John. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're busy because you're selling so many houses out there and all over socials and everywhere else, but I
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
And I always have everyone leave with one thing. So if you had one piece of advice to give, what would it be?
Don't give up. Never give up. Right.
Keep
I think
going. That's so good.
it's keep going, guys. If you're watching this right now, I know that a lot of people have quit the real estate sales game, and like any other thing in what you're trying to do, it's a matter of when you will break through. It'll eventually break through. It's not a matter of if. You just have to keep chopping that tree, and it will eventually come down. But if you stop chopping, it's over. So don't quit. And Krista and I are here to support you, encourage you until you succeed. Thank you.
It's so true. It's so true. Anyways, I hope you're just as fired up as I am, John. Thank you so much. This is amazing. I cannot wait. I'll let you know when this airs. Everyone, this is all about action. Knowledge is not power. Implementation is. Thank you so much for being here. We love you and have an amazing day. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.